Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to all of you once again to the physics classes. We were talking about competitive exam classes, and in that we were talking about semiconductor electronics. In that next question we are going to talk about, that is the 21st question. Already some of the questions we have discussed in our previous videos, go through that, and already we will be having the classwork questions as a PDF manner, that also you take that and go through it. Okay, write down the question if possible. Okay, classwork question and other questions like which are sent through WhatsApp for your homework. Take the printout of that and as well as write down the answer for that in your specific book and maintain that book. By saying this, I am going to continue with the next question that says that the energy gap of silicon is 1.14 eV. What is the energy gap for germanium? That is 0.7 eV. Here it is 1.14 eV. Now the maximum wavelength at which silicon will begin absorbing energy is, the maximum wavelength at which silicon will begin absorbing energy is. Now what we have to find out? The wavelength we have to find out, so that which is necessary for that certain kind of energy. So the energy, you know that is 1.14 eV. Okay. Now next we have to find out the wavelength. See, E is equal to h nu we have, that is C by lambda. Lambda you have to find out, hc by E. So this will be in joule. So EV it is given, means I will convert it as EV, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. Repeatedly it will come, no? See, 12.400 into 10 to the power minus 7 EV divided by, here it is 1.14 EV you are going to get, no? So this cancels. So now what you are going to get? Okay, so already how much you have written, that is 2.00 something, no? That value is there. So divided by you do, so that you will get, see, 1 2 1 2. So 1240.0 into 10 to the power minus 7 you are going to get, and divided by 114 you are going to get. Divide it and nearly it is 11. Nearly it is 11 something. So 1 times means this much somewhere. But now the question is whether it is angstrom or the point, question of this point here. So you can't use the trick here, you must multiply it, so exactly you can get what is the answer. Okay, so you are going to get it as, if you do, okay, if you do approximation, this is 1, say for example this is 1 you take, and this is 12 if you take, means it is 12 times, right? 12 into 10 to the power minus 7. Now in angstrom you have to write down, means angstrom you have to write down means how much? It is 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, like this, 12,000 angstrom you will get. If suppose angstrom means 12,000, so angstrom 108 is there, no, it is not that. 1000 times is there, no, it is 10,000, means nearly in 12,000 10,000 like that. So even 10 point is there, no. So this is the right answer, no. Angstrom it has to come, means point must be 12,000 after that, but it is 108 is there, in hundreds it is there, it is in tens is there, it is in thousands, but it is in 10,000, we want in 10,000s, no, like that it is. Okay, so that approximation also you can do, the right answer will be this. So these are the questions. See, you might have noticed sometimes what happen, 50-50 will come, 50 as soon as you will see the question, you can make out that 50% is wrong, only 2 question answers are there, in that I have to decide the right answer. Such kind of questions are there. Or else everything is similar, at that time you can't escape, you have to be again properly have to go through it. Some like conceptual questions will be there, easily you can do, but sometime in hurry, why you will do this, but why will they will give like this, in hurry what happens, all are looks similar. Now because of this you can put the answer for this, no, but actually right answer is this. Which such a hurry if you are, means don't do the sums with a hurry, okay. So cool, okay, think and do that, but use less time for that, okay. So we will move to the next question, that is 22. If Np and Ne be the number of holes of conduction electrons in an extrinsic semiconductor, Np and Ne be the number of holes and number of electrons, conduction electron in an extrinsic semiconductor. Extrinsic semiconductor means doped, okay. Then holes are greater than electrons, holes are equal to electrons, holes are less than that of the electrons, or holes are greater or holes are less, that is depending upon nature of the impurities. So which one is the correct answer? See, the extrinsic semiconductor, it may be a N-type semiconductor, it may be a P-type semiconductor. You can't say that always holes are greater, you can't say that always electrons are greater. No, it may be electrons greater, it may be holes are greater, that is depending upon the nature of the impurity. So answer is D, option D, okay. We are moving to the next question, that is a potential barrier of 0.5 volt. The given data you have to write down first, that is 0.5 volt exists across a PN junction if the depletion region is 5 into 10 to the power minus 7, okay. Depletion region is 5 into 10 to the power minus 7, that is wide. The distance x they have given, that is 5 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. So now in this way depletion region is there here, that is 0.5 volt is there. So this layer is 5 into 10 to the power minus 7 meters width. Now the intensity of the electric field in this region is, now voltage is given and the distance is given, you have to find out the electric field. Now how I can find out the electric field? You have the relation distance, you have the relation velocity, voltage or potential difference. Next you have to find out the electric field. What is that relation? Electric field, distance and electric potential. We know that relation between potential and electric field we have. The relation between potential and electric field we have, that is nothing but E is equal to dV by dl, no? V by d. In the second chapter you have studied. Now electric field you have to find out in that, that is nothing but 0.5 volt divided by 5 into 10 to the power minus 7. So 5 into 10 to the power minus 1 you write down this. So it is 5 into 10 to the power minus 7. Minus 7 and minus 1 goes, so it becomes minus 6. Minus 6 goes to the numerator, it becomes 10 to the power plus 6. So 5 goes off, it will becomes 1. So 1 into 10 to the power plus 6. What was there? It is volt, and what was there in meter? So volt per meter, that is 1 into 10 to the power plus 6 volt per meter, volt per meter. That is the answer for this. Now go to the next question, that is 24th. Okay, find out the answer, guess the answer. Okay, it says that in a PN junction, you know that what do you mean by PN junction, you know? In a PN junction, P and N both are at the same potential. So that you have to find out. In a PN junction, P and in a PN junction, what is that? You have to find out. What you know about that you have to find out. So in a PN junction, P and N both are at the same potential. P and N are both are at the same potential. High potential at N side and low potential at P side. P and N are at the same potential. Is it like that? P and N are at the same potential. Same potential means minus 5 volt, minus 5 volt. Plus 5 volt means plus 5 volt, like that. No, it is not like that. P will be in positive, N will be in negative. So first option is the wrong option. So next it says that high potential at N side and low potential at P side. Let's see. High potential, yet it is positive means high potential and negative means it is low potential. Okay, and that is seems true. Let's see what other option says. High potential at P side, yes, high potential at P side. Okay, see, high potential at N side, sorry, this one I said, no, high potential at P side, this was 3 actually we said, that is high potential at P side and low potential at N side, this is correct, seems. Now second one, high potential at N side, no, this is negative, no. See, plus 3 volt and minus 3 volt means this is highest, this is lowest. Okay, negative. So positive is highest always. So this is wrong, this seems correct. Let's say low potential at N side and 0 potential at P side, that is wrong. So always we have high potential at P side and low potential at N side, low potential at N side. Option C will be the right answer for you. Option C will be the right answer for you. So you have studied in current electricity, right? See, plus minus cell you are going to add, plus 3 minus 3 here, high potential, low potential, differences, all those things you have studied, right? So make your electronics knowledge strong, okay, for this kind of problems. Go to the next question, that is full wave rectifier circuit is operating from 50 Hz mains. So full wave rectifier circuit, you know that some circuit which will gives you full wave rectifier means two diodes are there, and here what? Transformer will be there. Transformer will be the mains. 50 Hz frequency is given. Now the fundamental frequency in the ripples will be, ripples means what? This is in this way. Oh, ripples, yeah, you are going to get. So this is twice, right? But in the actual case it is once means it is twice here. Here not there, here it is there, here not there, here it is there, here it is not there. Half of that, here it is twice of that ripples, no? In the next case, output means in the full wave rectifier, in the half wave rectifier it is only this much. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, like that, no? Same as the top. If 50 Hz means 50 Hz only. For what? Half wave rectifier. But in the full wave rectifier, the fundamental frequency in the ripple means in the outputs are called ripples, that is in this way, consecutive ripples are there. So immediately you are going to get continuously. What is this? 1 second if you see means 100 ripples are there. Here 1 second if you see means only 50 ripples, that is 50 Hz. No, the frequency, you are getting the point. Yes, that is the thing. Okay, that is the thing. So it will be 100 Hz. So 100 frequency, twice of that in the case of full wave rectifier. Full wave rectifier. Go to the next question. I hope you can see the circuit diagram here. If not, I can draw it for you. Now in the circuit diagram, treat diode as ideal. Both diodes are ideal. So it is like this, the positive and negative, it is 12 volt. Goes in this way, this diode is there, and one more will be in this way. So that is again in this way it goes. Okay, there are two resistances and after that negative is connected in this way. So here it is in this way. So 3 ohm, 4 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 4 ohm, 2 ohm, this is D1 and this is D2. Now what do you have to find out? Current in the 4 ohm resistor, current in the 4 ohm resistor. Let's first analyze this circuit. Now current goes like this, it becomes forward bias, okay. So divides itself into two categories, some current will flow in this, some current will flow in this, and this becomes reverse bias. So if reverse bias is there, current is not going to flow, so this wire is useless. So I can discard this circuit because current is not at all flowing in this, because I resistance will be forward by the diode 2 resistors. So all the current will see that whether way is there, no, it come back and all the current will start to flow in this only. So whatever the current flows in this resistor, so now forward bias, it means it is not a diode, it is just a wire only, no. If forward bias means it is not a diode, it's just like a wire, it's just like a wire. Now all the current will come, that current you have to find out. Whatever the current flows in this wire, current flows in this wire. So voltage V is equal to Ri is there, I is equal to V by R is nothing but net. Net resistance is how much? That is in series, both are in series. I can write down in this way. I can write down in this way, that is in 3 ohm, this is 4 ohm, this is 3 ohm, 4 ohm, 7 ohms it becomes. So 12 and 7, 12 by 7 ampere, 12 by 7 ampere, 12 by 7 ampere. Option C is the right answer for you. Now next, go to the next question. And if suppose again one circuit is there, if you can't see that, means I can write it for you on the diagram once again. So the circuit is in this way, which is a variable power supply. So that's why it is given in this way. This is R and this is in this way. So it comes and goes like this. Now assume that the silicon diode in the circuit requires minimum current of 1 milliamps. So 1 milliamps is must, less than that means it won't flow. To be above the knee point, okay, see 0.7 volt is the voltage here. More than that it should, it is, see it is in reverse bias, no, it is in, sorry, it is in forward bias. But still, since it is forward bias also, 0.7 voltage is there here, okay, it will conduct only when this voltage is more than 0.7. If it is 0.1 means no use, 0.2 means not use, 0.3 means no use, 0.4 means no use, 0.5 means no use, because it is a reverse, that forward voltage was there, already it is inbuilt. 0.5, 0.6, 0.7 also no use. 0.8 means it is going to conduct, that forward bias. You know that forward bias, reverse bias in semiconductor that you learn, right? Now if more than 0.7 means it can limit, it can go only 1 milliamps current, maximum, max to max, otherwise it may burn. So maximum 1 milliamps it has to go, or of IV characteristic. Also assume that voltage across the diode is independent of the current above the knee point. If VB is 5 volts, see now what I am going to do, I am going to increase the voltage, I am going to make it as 5 volt, okay. Then the maximum value of R, that the voltage is above the knee points, is the maximum value of R, so that the voltage is above the knee points is the maximum value of R, so that the voltage above the knee points is, voltage above the knee points means current must be 1 milliamps. So you have to find out the resistance required. So the resistance required, how much you have to put, so that it won't damage the this one diode and the smooth flow of current takes place. So we know that V is equal to Ri, okay, current resistance you have to find out, which is nothing but V by I, but V is here already 0.7 is there, so total it is has to become 5, so here must be 4.3 isn't it? So the voltage is here 4.3 into divided by 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 amps. 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 amps. Now minus 3 goes to the numerator, becomes 10 to the power plus 3 ohm, isn't it? Voltage by ampere, that is nothing but 4.3 kilo ohm. 4.3 kilo ohm. 4.3 kilo ohm here it is. So that the right answer is question number A. This is the thing. Go to the circuit. The following circuit represents, again now you can't go for truth table here. I told that one is diagram concept, truth table concept or Boolean algebra concept. Now truth table is a bit tedious or takes a lot of time because only two values are there. We are going to have which one? See, this is the circuit they have given. Okay, this is the circuit they have given. Nothing they have given written, only A and B they have given. Now this A comes here and here it becomes A. This B goes here and here it becomes B. But A it is A bar. This one B it goes and here it is A bar. Yeah. This is A it comes, here it is B bar. So I understood that A bar B it comes, A B bar it comes. No, in that way. This is the first one, this is the second one. This is the third one, this is the fourth one, this is the fifth one. This is the OR gate, AND gate, and yet NOT gate, NOT gate. Now AND gate means AB, no, but A is not A, that is A bar. Here it is AB, no, but B is not B, here B bar. So OR means A bar, B plus A, B bar. And this is for XOR gate, no. Just now I told that this is for XOR gate. This is for XOR gate. See, by using AND gate and not OR gate, you can create a XOR gate. So simple it is, right? So this is what the thing is. So that's why again and again I am going to tell you that go through such kind of formulas, problems and all, which is very much easy and very much important. Okay, Boolean algebra you should know. Practice it, practice it, practice it. And thing is that, see, whenever some topics, see, tomorrow exam is there or day after tomorrow exam is there. Now there is such topics that if I see one day before the exam, I am going to remember in a nice way. Then first all you see, and such topics you write down somewhere and see in 1 day or 2 days before exam. Okay, these are all strategy you have to use. It is not like that someone is saying and you are accepting, because for each and every one the studying process is different. Everyone I can see, someone it is they can remember, someone no, 2 days before I learn means I will remember that. Like that and all concept will be there. So you have to use based on your capacity which topic, which things I want, that you have to use. Okay, by saying this again I am going for the next question. Okay,
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.